Creative Assembly have been heavily hinting at the Game 3 pre-order race for the past few months. And now it's official, with the Ogre Kingdoms coming to Warhammer 3 as the pre-order bonus. The whole concept of pre-orders, of course, splits the community, and love them or hate them, it's the approach that CA has chosen once again. Personally, I like to wait for a game's release before I make the decision to purchase, and the last time I strayed from this position was Cyberpunk, and we all know how well that turned out at launch. The Ogre Kingdoms will remain as the early adopter bonus for the first week of the game's life, so that should give people time to decide, though if you choose to wait, then you will need to pick them up as a separate DLC down the line. The Ogre Kingdoms will come with 2 legendary lords, and from the images we have seen so far, a good portion of their roster from their army book. There is of course the chance that they will be expanded upon, though I doubt that will be for quite some time, as the core races will undoubtedly get the spotlight in the first few DLCs, and I imagine any additional lords we see will be FLC only. So which lords can we look forward to upon release? Well, there is the Over-Tyrant himself, Greasus Goldtooth, the ogre who united the disparate tribes at the Battle of the Firemouth against the Greenskin War. He's a big boy and is carried around by several dozen Noblars, who strain at every move, so he can't be asked getting up himself. The second lord option will be Scrag the Slaughterer, a legendary prophet of the Great Maw who is forced to drag a massive meat pot behind him. Attached via great metal hooks through his back, this is his punishment for cooking up the favourite Noblar of his former tyrant, a mistake that cost him his place in the tribe. As for the roster, it has not yet been revealed, but we can make out several key units in the images available. Aside from these in the blog post, there is also a trailer, though it didn't really provide any new information aside from the reveal of Greasus Goldtooth's belching prowess. There is, however, a second trailer kicking about, which appears to show footage of the Ogre Kingdoms in-game. This was apparently leaked on Reddit, but it gives us, I think, a much better feel for the Ogre's roster.
They called us brutes, savages, but we don't care what they's calling us. The Great War's angry! Devour for the Ogre Kingdoms!
I just love the Noblars alongside the ogres here, barely reaching their knees in height. I'd imagine that many a Noblar perish on the march to the battlefield, long before battle even begins. We can see the standard ogres and man-eaters which were received in Game 2 as part of the mercenary camps mechanic. Dead center, we see a lead belcher. These ogres have decided to put down their clubs and pick up a cannon, giving them insane range. Here is our first look at ogre artillery, with the iron blasters being pulled along by Rhinox. These are absolutely gorgeous models that will prove a lot of fun to use. 3 things of note in this shot. At the back on the hill, we have a few enslaved giants, dwarving even the ogres themselves. I love the metal helms that they wear. Then in the midground, I believe we see a hero, possibly a bruiser, and just in front of him we have a member of the Iron Guts, who are much respected amongst the ogre tribes and are the personal guards of many a tyrant. Here we see one of the legendary lord choices, Scrag the Slaughterer. The large cauldron doesn't look as stupid as I feared, and to see it animated when he releases his gut magic is very cool indeed. If I'm not mistaken, here we see a Gorger, treating a Chaos Warrior of Khorne like a ragdoll. And in the background we see a Marauder getting absolutely pummeled into the ground like a human pancake. Very cool animation. Next up we see Greasus himself, and the lazy bastard is just sitting there as the battle unfolds around him. It will be very interesting to see what sort of animations he has and how convincing they will be when he is in melee. Not the clearest of frames here, I'll admit, but the stone horn looks absolutely fantastic all the same. Along with the Thunder Tusk, these are the units I'm looking forward to the most, and the scale certainly does not disappoint, as it's freaking massive. As tall, if not taller, than a giant, I'd say. And to finish off, we have yet another Ogre artillery piece, the Noblar Scrap Launcher, loosing its compacted ball of iron scrap on the minions of Khorne. All in all, this video shows off some fantastic looking models, and hats off to the modelling and animation teams for their work. There are a few units I didn't spot. No Yetis or Thunder Tusks. I didn't see any Butchers or Firebellies, though I believe they are in the image from the blog post. And I didn't spot any Saber Tusks or Hunters. Hopefully they all make it in for launch. This video certainly got me more pumped for the Ogre Kingdoms than the other trailer, and I'm very much looking forward to squishing everything underfoot, scraping it off and frying it up for dinner. What are your thoughts on what we have seen of the Ogre Kingdoms? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please click that like button and subscribe to the channel. And I'd like to thank Hot Apple Pie and Alexander for their continued support on Patreon. I'm Grey Tiger, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.